There is a palpable uncertainty.
There is no question that we are at quite a unique point. I'm not seeing any technology are only going to accelerate. Think about the technology we have today.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. Today what I want to teach you guys is how to e-clean your K8. And if you have an SD501 or an SD501 Platinum, don't worry, I'm going to post another video for that as well. So when it comes to the K8, you're going to see some of the stuff that I had in the other videos. So the first one is that brown box that I said was going to be very important. This is the one that I was talking about. So when we open it up, you're going to find a couple things. The first thing is going to be this thingy right here. So this is actually going to be something that's going to stop the water that's inside of your machine, and it's going to actually replace where your filter is. So I'll show you that in a moment. The next thing that you need is these little red stoppers. It has a couple of them, you only need one. And that's going to go on the bottom of the secondary hose to basically cap off your machine. Next, you need your green replacement. This is what's going to actually replace the electrolysis enhancer that you have at the bottom of the machine. And this is what you're going to put the citric acid inside of. And of course, you're going to go ahead and need citric acid. So if you just got your machine, you're not going to have this. This is the giant tub of citric acid that you can get from Ion Faucet or you can get from Enagic, and this is just for long term. So inside of your box, you're gonna notice that there's these silver packages. These silver packages have that citric acid in there, and the company gives you about 2 months worth of citric acid. So now that you have all the pieces that you're gonna need to do this e-cleaning, let's go ahead and use your K8 because you actually invested in this machine. This has the most sophisticated e-cleaning that it does. So there's actually a touch screen, and it'll walk you step by step through each one of them. I'm gonna go with them through you as well, but let's go on there and let's check it out. So welcome to your K8. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and touch it on. Then at the bottom, you'll notice this part that says settings. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and hit e-cleaning. And for the instructions, until you've got it down, let's go ahead and hit yes. So the first thing it says, pour 2 packets of e-cleaning powder into the cleaning tank, fill with 400 milliliters of water and mix thoroughly. So like I said, with your K8, you're not gonna have the big reservoir full of citric acid. So go ahead and follow those instructions, tear off 2 of those packets and pour the citric acid in here. If you do have one of these, the instruction says to only use 1 scoop. So I'm gonna go ahead and use 1 scoop of that. And then what I do is I put clean water inside of there, shake it up a little bit, and then move on to the next step. Now that you have this all filled up, it's time for step 2. So with step 2, we need to insert the cleaning tank into your K8. So we're gonna back up and go ahead and do that. If you wanna know what it looks like, you can see the little diagram on here. That's exactly what we're gonna do. So to do this piece, there's gonna be 2 parts on here where you wanna just push in and then pull out. It should come out really easy, and Enagic's made it so that nothing needs to be forced out. The next thing you want to do is take out this reservoir right here. This is for your electrolysis enhancer. So that's going to go ahead and come out, and go ahead and put that to the side. Then you're going to want to go ahead and take your cleaning tank that's full of citric acid and water, and then you're going to want to go ahead and insert it there. Then normally what I do is then I actually will leave this to the side. That way I know that the machine is being cleaned. So the next step is you're just gonna hit OK. After that, it's gonna say, please remove the filter and install the cleaning cartridge. The cleaning cartridge is this thing that we saw before. Make sure that you have both of these O-rings that are on there, and then same thing when it comes to your filter. On this side, there's just gonna be a tab right here that you're gonna push in and up. And then what I normally do is I use my other hand, my thumb, and I guide it out. Now you're going to see that your filter is right here. All you do right here is just follow these instructions. It says if you go to the left, it's open. If you go to right, close. There's this tab right here. You just need your thumb, and then you can go ahead and just pop that off right there. Super easy. Then what I do is I try to take it out quickly because this thing is full of liquid. So if you take it out slow, water is going to fall out. So I do a quick flip. There you go. And I set that to the side, and then usually what happens is there's going to be little O-rings in here. What I do is I go ahead and take those out because you've already got them here. So here's those little O-rings. I just use my finger. For this one, sometimes I use my pinky just because it's smaller. And then what I go ahead and do is I actually wipe this out just so I can get it cleaner. And then after that, you're gonna go ahead and take the reservoir and then stick it on there and reverse the process. So I go ahead and wipe this one out just so it's nice and clean. Wipe off all the other parts. And then I go ahead and stick this piece back on here. You just turn it around until it's nice and flush. And then you stick this piece back on. And the tab is gonna be on the left side and the small piece will be here. And then what a lot of people have a question on is this little piece that's coming out right here, you'll be able to see it, needs to be on the bottom side. If it's up here, you have it flipped around. So go ahead and securely close that on, and we can go to the next step. So we'll go ahead and hit OK, and then it says, please put the cap on the secondary hose. So on my machine, I have a custom faucet right here. So for me, all I have to do is put this on here, and what that's gonna do is cap off the water from coming out the bottom. If you have the regular secondary hose, the white one, then what you're gonna do is cap that. But all you wanna do is make sure that water can't come out the bottom. On to the next step. It says press start button to begin cleaning. So pretty much from here, you've completed the process of starting your e-cleaning, and then I'll give you a couple more tips before we end this video. When I do my e-cleanings, I do them at night before I go to bed. Once I hit the start button, there's gonna be a 3-hour timer in which you can't use your machine. One of the other things that I do is I actually change the direction of the hose. You have to understand that you're basically cycling the citric acid through all of the pieces in your machine. That way you can clean off any fungus, mildew, any bacteria, any calcium buildup, anything that could be going on in there. This is what's gonna go ahead and completely flush that out. So what I do is I go ahead and change the top hose to where it's gonna be able to drip, because citric acid is going to come out of the top of that. And for you mothers out there, fathers, no worries. This isn't actually super harmful. If you get it on your skin, it's not gonna burn you. The only one I do recommend is be very careful and don't get it in your eyes. I've personally done it before and it's not fun. It won't cause you to have to go to the hospital, but it doesn't feel good and you've got to rinse out your eyes. So no worries on that. And so what I do is I actually move my sink to look like this. From here, all we need to do is hit the start button. We'll go ahead and leave it, and then we'll come back, and then it's gonna give you the reverse instructions on how to put your machine back together. So from here, we just hit the start button. You're gonna hear your machine. It's starting to cycle through the e-cleaning, and you've successfully started your e-cleaning. So I just wanted to congratulate you on successfully learning how to e-clean your K8. Inside of the instruction manual, it actually recommends that you do this every 2 weeks, but for me personally, I do it once a month. So mark it on your calendar and make it a date that you do it consistently, because your machine won't operate as well or as long if you're not taking care of it and doing all the maintenance. You have to remember, this is a lifetime investment and you need to treat it so. So if you don't treat your machine well and you don't take care of it and you don't do the maintenance, it's gonna be just like a car. It's gonna start wearing out and it may even stop working prematurely. But if you stay on top of it and if you treat it just like a car, taking it for all its oil changes and everything that you need to do, this machine, I believe, will outlast you and be something you can hand down to your kids. So make sure you're always doing your e-cleanings. Enagic also recommends to do a deep cleaning once a year. It's only $40. It's done by Enagic, where they use chemicals that are stronger than here, where they do it in a controlled environment. They've got all the gloves, they've got all the face protection, so you can do that as well. Other than that, guys, be sure to tune in for our other videos and other training. It's great. This is all the videos to get you started and familiarized with your machine. Make sure you send this to your team as well as teach them how to do it if they're in person. And then go ahead and tune in to our other sales training videos. That way you can grow your Enagic business and touch more families. So congratulations, and I'll see you guys in the next video.